If you have spent any time in expat forums or dating groups, you have probably heard the phrase Filipinas are easy. But after living in both the Philippines and in Europe, I have realized that what foreigners call easy is actually a massive cultural misunderstanding. But when someone says Filipina is easy, what do they actually really mean? Do they mean that Filipinas are easy to approach, easy to talk to, easy to date, or easy to impress? Or are they talking about sex? So those are really complete different things, guys. So dear shelter viewers, this is me again, Fretchiedepablografe. If you are curious about the Philippines and the real stories behind the stereotypes, please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. So for today, I will talk about what foreigners may really mean when they say Filipinas are easy and why that kind of description can be very misleading. So, first and foremost, let's talk about being easy to approach. So, we all know that Filipinos are generally known for being warm, being friendly. So, we smile at people, we even make small talk, we help when we can, and we try to make others feel comfortable. And this is especially common when we meet foreigners too. So many of the Filipinas will even also speak English. So communication can also feel easy. So a foreigner may approach a Filipina and ask her a question and even receive a friendly response. So she may laugh at his jokes. This Filipina might continue the conversation with him or agree to meet for coffee. When that happens, the foreigner may think like, oh, she likes me, but she may simply be thinking like I'm just being friendly and respectful. And I experienced something similar when I was here working in Germany. So some of my patients and co-workers misunderstood my personality because I smiled a lot, I laughed a lot, and I communicated with them comfortably. And especially guys that my patients here are mostly old and even retired men. So they assumed that I was flirting or that I was an easy girl. But that wasn't the case, guys. I was simply trying to communicate well. I was simply trying to create a pleasant atmosphere. And of course, if someone makes an inappropriate joke or dirty jokes, then I do not just ignore it. Like I make my boundaries clear from the very start. And when necessary, I even ask my secretary or my boss to change the patient. And I really hate to say this, but being friendly does not really mean accepting disrespectful behavior. So the important point here is that a woman can be warm, she can be talkative and comfortable around man being without romantically or sexually interested in him. And the second thing is that Filipinas may be easy to approach, but that does not automatically mean, again, that they are easy to date or easy to have sex with. So, a Filipina may agree to talk with you because she is just curious and curious about your culture, so she may accept a date because she wants to get even to know you more and even wants to improve her English skills. So she may be attracted to you but still have clear boundaries. And again, being open and being communicative does not mean being sexually available. Some of you guys really also judge a woman based on how openly she talks about dating or sex, but a woman's personality, clothing, or even conversation style does not tell you her sexual history. So you cannot know someone's boundaries or someone's past relationships simply by observing how friendly she is, right? So the only reliable way to know what someone wants is to communicate clearly and even respect her answer. And the third thing, guys, is really understanding this kind of misunderstanding because it really helps you understand the Filipino culture. So many of the Filipinos, guys, grow up valuing pakikisama, So, which means maintaining good relationships with another person and maintaining harmony with another people. And sometimes it is described as a social glue. And again, it is our way of making sure that nobody is left out or nobody is uncomfortable. So we also grow up hearing about hiya or the desire to avoid embarrassment, to avoid shame and unnecessary conflict. And because of this, some of the Filipinas may not reject someone in a very direct way. So instead of saying no, they may say maybe, or they may say we'll see, or I will let you know, or I am not sure. And this does not always mean yes. Sometimes it just means that she feels uncomfortable saying no directly. So, whenever some foreigner is hearing this kind of statement, they directly think that the girl wanted to have more from them and always wanted to say yes, but it is the opposite. So, please, please, please do not treat a smile or a polite answer or a vague response as a consent. And if you are unsure of that, then ask the Filipina respectfully. If the Filipina would say no or seems uncomfortable, then accept it without pressure. And also, like I said, Filipinos are even known to be worldwide to be best healthcare professions because they are very accommodating to all people of all ages, right? But being accommodating does not mean being submissive. And being polite does not mean agreeing to everything. And being friendly does not again mean being romantically interested or sexually interested to this person. And later, I am going to share to you guys the one of the thing most of the foreigners get wrong about why even age gaps are so common in the Philippines. So, what is really the biggest mistake many of the foreigners make? And that is these foreigners may assume that the age gap automatically explains the relationship. So, they see an older foreign man and a younger Filipina and immediately decide that she just wants money or that he wants sex from her. But the truth is, every couple has a different story. Some relationships are based on love, some are based on shared goals, some on stability, and sometimes several of these reasons exist at the same time. So you cannot understand an entire relationship simply by looking at those couples' ages or assuming that the Filipina is only interested in money. Now we also have to discuss the uncomfortable part, and that is about easy to have sex with. Yes, some of the foreigners believe that casual sex or paid sexual services are easy to find in certain parts of the Philippines. And yes, in some areas, the poverty, tourism, and demand from foreigners have created situations where Filipinas really enter transactional relationships or just sex work alone. But this does not represent all Filipinos out there, and it should never also be used to describe Filipino women as a group. So some people may enter these situations just because they need money, they want to support their families, or have very limited economic opportunities. And many of the Filipinas guys are also breadwinners, meaning they help provide for their parents, they help to provide something for their siblings or children, and that does not make them easy. It means that they may be making difficult decisions in difficult circumstances. And I am pretty sure that it is not only happening in the Philippines because I saw a lot of red light cities even here in Germany. My only concern is just that if two consenting adults chose a transactional agreement, so they still need to think about safety, honesty, consent, and sexual health because it is very important to have protection and health testing nowadays. So it is not the only way to protect other people, but also to protect yourself from diseases. And more importantly, no one should be pressured or exploited or treated as if they are less valuable because money is involved. And if you are looking for a genuine relationship, guys, you should be honest about your intentions from the very start. And please do not pretend to love someone just to obtain sex or control. And another reason some foreigners describe Filipinas as easy is that they see relationships with large age gaps or relationships between Filipinas and foreigners, like I told you. And these relationships do exist, but the existence of an age gap does not automatically mean that Filipino women are desperate or submissive. Every relationship is really different, so some couples genuinely love and respect each other, and others may be influenced by financial needs or just the hope of improving their lives. So a foreign man may believe that he has found a Filipina who is easier to approach than women in his home country, but this foreigner may not realize that many of the Filipinas also expect serious commitment, serious responsibility, loyalty, and stability. And being easy to talk to does not mean being easy to control. So a Filipina may be welcoming and affectionate, but she may also expect her partner to be dependable and serious about the relationship. So, in many Filipino families, relationships are just connected to long term plans and family responsibilities. So, if you come to the Philippines expecting a casual relationship with no responsibilities, you may be surprised when the woman expects commitment and consistency. And have you ever wondered why a Filipina expects a serious commitment so much faster than women back home? So it's not about being easy. I think it's about family. And many of the Western cultures, dating is just strictly between two individuals. But in the Philippines, when you date someone, you are often stepping into a broader circle of family ties. Like there are shared celebration and mutual respect. And what an outsider might perceive as moving fast or expecting too much is usually just a natural reflection of how central family is to our identity. So when a Filipina brings up a long-term plans or when a Filipina introduces you to her family, it isn't about being easy or trying to rush you. It is just her way of seeing whether you share the same values of responsibility, loyalty, and long-term commitment that Filipino family life is built on. And we also have to acknowledge the role of poverty in the Philippines. So, in the Philippines, there are many hardworking people, but some families really struggle to earn enough money for food, for education, for housing, and medical expenses. And I am really sad about that because this part really makes me think crazy. Because right now I am working in Germany and I really see the benefits of our taxes and where the money goes. It goes to education. Education is free, hospital expenses are covered, and even doctor visits and operations are covered in the insurance. And we do not have this kind of luxury in the Philippines. Because of this, some of the Filipinos may look for relationships or arrangement that offer financial support. And that does not mean that every Filipina who dates a foreigner, let's say an old foreigner, is using him. And also, it does not mean that every foreigner is being also used. But both people should be also honest about what do they really want from each other. If a foreigner is really looking for an easy girl, then I think he may attract people who see him mainly as just a source of money. And at the same time, he may also attract scammers or people who take advantage of his lack of knowledge about the country. And the same warning applies to Filipinas out there. If a foreigner you are dating right now immediately offers money or offers promises for a better life or even giving you pressure to move quickly, so be careful. So, a foreign passport or having expensive gifts or romantic words really do not automatically prove that someone has good intentions. So, to all men and women who are listening right now, please take your time knowing someone. Ask him or her a lot of questions and please only the right questions. And also, lastly, Watch also how the person behaves, when you set the boundaries early on. Because one problem with the word easy is that it can lead to disrespect. And some men would just arrive in the Philippines and already believing that Asian women are easy, they are submissive, they are sexually available, or desperate for foreign husbands. And I think it is just unfair and dangerous to hear this kind of statement, right? And I have personally experienced people making assumptions about me simply because I am Asian too. Some even assume that I must be sexually available or willing to accept any invitation. And it is really hurtful, guys, when these people, mind you, these old people decide who you are before they even know you. And that is why, guys, like boundaries are really important. And for Filipinas out there, it is really okay to say, like, I am not comfortable with that, or saying, I only want a serious relationship. And for foreigners out there, it is also important to communicate honestly with your Filipino right now. So do not assume immediately that a Filipina's kindness is just an invitation. So do not pressure her to prove that she likes you, and do not become angry when she says no. So I would say that respect should really work both ways. And of course, not every Filipina is the same. So the Philippines is a large country with different regions. We have different languages. We have different religions too, personalities, and even lifestyle. And some women are traditional and some women are very independent. Some even Filipinas would want marriage and children, and others just prefers to focus on their careers, and some even enjoy casual dating with others. And you cannot understand a person simply by looking at her nationality, because nowadays social media has also exposed younger Filipinas to different ideas about relationships and dating. So, to be honest, many women today are more aware of their standards. They are more aware of the boundaries than previous generation. And honestly, the traditional image of the quiet, submissive, and overly accommodating Filipina does not describe everyone anymore. So my final thought of this video is that so are Filipinas easy? Some may be easy to approach because Filipino culture encourages warmth, we encourage friendliness and hospitality. And some may be easy to talk to because many Filipinas are comfortable communicating in English. And some may be open to dating foreigners because of personal preference or because of curiosity. And yes, in some places, transactional sex may be available, but that does not give anyone the right to label all of the Filipinas out there as sexually easy or assume that friendliness is equal to consent. So we may be open to love, but that does not mean that we will accept disrespect. So the Philippines is changing, guys, and Filipinas are also changing too. So if you are a foreigner who has dated or just met a Filipino right now, what was really your first impression? And I would like to ask you, did you initially misunderstand Filipino friendliness, or did you experience change after you got to know her better? Please share your honest thoughts in the comment section below, but please keep the conversation respectful. So that would be all for now, guys. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more insights like this. See you in my next video. Ciao!